All right, everyone, welcome to today's recap. I hope you all are doing well and staying blessed. If you guys are new here, my name is Jeremiah. I'm a small cap day trader. Today is a green day. I sized up today. I doubled my share size from yesterday, and the share size I was taking mostly for today was 20 shares. I traded one stock. It was ELPW. It was a Chinese stock. No news, but it had a 50,000 share float, and it started to pull away here. So I thought. I'll take a stab at it. We did have ELAB pop up, but as you guys know, I haven't been able to trade it because it is restricted on Webull. You're only allowed to sell shares that you already have here on Webull, which is unfortunate. It was probably the second or one of the most obvious stocks. It certainly was at one point the most obvious stock, but I was not able to trade it, unfortunately. However, this stock ELPW, I was able to make some money on it. Yes, it didn't have news. Yes, it was a Chinese stock. So it was risky, but since there was nothing else moving, I figured the attention was most likely going to be on this stock. And so let's jump right into my trades here on ELPW. So we start to pull away here. It just started popping up, and I'm thinking, let me take that dip right there. I got a worse fill than I would or was expecting to get, but the spreads were kind of big at that point, which I didn't actually see. But I did see green going through on the tape, at the corner of my eye, and I sold a little bit early. I could have waited 20 more cents and doubled this winner very easily, but 22 cents a share, not bad. I'll take it. First trade of the day, not bad at all. So that was a nice winner, $4.40. I'm up what my max daily loss and my profit target would have been for yesterday. Um, but now since I doubled it, this is half of the daily goal or max daily loss, either or. Um, so that would be max or daily goal is two good trades, which is 20 cents a share, two times, or one good trade for 40 cents. I could have made this trade right here if I had held a little longer, but I think getting in and out in a cold market is probably the right thing to do. But I did notice myself selling early yesterday as well. I sold my winners a little bit too soon, but also on the same note for selling, uh, I think it served me well to sell when it wasn't working. So as soon as the stock stalled out or it popped up and then dropped down as I sold it, they usually continued to go down. Or if they didn't, then it is what it is. But I think I'd rather sell, take my profit, and just be green than get caught in a flush. So we popped up here and we broke this pivot. I missed one of my trades. I'll go back and go over it, but I ended up taking a little bit of a loss here. Um, I was anticipating first candle to make a new high and then the break over this pivot. We had 9 EMA as support. A trade off of the 9 EMA would have probably been better. However, there wasn't like a bunch of, or it wasn't like a bunch of orders going through on the level 2, so I was thinking, we'll wait for a burst of green. There was a burst of green right there. I could have entered there. However, still would have been risky. I wanted a little more confirmation. And I don't think I entered on this candle actually. I entered on this one, so we closed really bullish or pretty bullish on this. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll buy that dip right there, and it starts to creep green. And then I was like, okay, well, as soon as it flipped back red, I was like thinking, this is not gonna work. I could have definitely sold it here, and I should have, but ended up selling at 59, so not too far off. Um, would have been nice to sell earlier, but that's a small loss nonetheless. But let me go back to that trade I missed over here. Um, so it was actually right here that I took that trade. So starts to squeeze up there. See it dip down for a second, and I buy that. So I bought the low of that candle, really nice. Or the open. I guess the low was 56, but got out there for more or less break even, 2-cent winner. Um, I just figured it wasn't really working, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna hold something that doesn't really wanna go. So here I was looking at it holding VWAP, and then we start to squeeze up here, and I'm thinking I had already told myself it was gonna squeeze at the open, and so I was like, okay, maybe we're gonna squeeze a little bit early. And I'm seeing green on the tape, and now I'm looking for this pivot right here, and we go right up to that pivot. Seems like we're running to resistance, and so I sell that. Could have held it a little bit longer once again, but I think where I sold it was not bad at all. So that was a nice trade. That was the last trade I took, putting me up $6.74 on the day. Um, Not bad, not bad. Um, that's what 120 cent a share trade plus I don't know, 15, 20, yeah, 15 cents. A 15-cent trade plus 50, like 16.70. I don't know. It was not a bad trading day. That's all I had to say. So I locked my trading there. Um, and I only took 4 trades today. 3 wins. Well, one was sort of break even, but 3 wins and 1 loss. So I think that's pretty good for today. Um, Stock wasn't that good, but the price action provided some opportunities, so I decided to jump in. But with that, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are staying green. It's a cold market, so manage your risk. Take it, take it slow, and then when you start feeling good, start sizing up. I don't know if I'm gonna size up tomorrow. I might keep the same size, or I might size up a little bit. Um, we'll have to see. So it starts ripping here at the open. I had a feeling it would rip at the open, and it does, but it ultimately ends up reversing back. So that was it for that stock. Yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Peace.